Ba-da-da-da. Hey, ba-da-bum.
Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM, half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Coco crew here, sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio, Boom Boom here from Richmond, Virginia. And of course, hailing live from Tokyo, Japan, the huge one, Dave Coco. And Coco, well, we had the Go Home show on Ring of Honor airing on both Sinclair stations and Destination America, leading up to, I guess, what you could call their Super Bowl of Best in the World 2015. So, Coco, I'm going to ask you, man, like I ask everybody at the beginning of every show that we ever do, do you give the show a win, a loss, or a tie?
Well, Boom Boom, you know there's rules and regulations that I go by in my life. You know, I have rules that I live by. I don't follow any man's rule but my own. And there's one rule I have. If you end a show with a contract signing or have a contract signing, automatic loss. Automatic loss. You could have did a hype video. You could have just did a promo. And not all that, but you put a contract signing over a New Japan versus ROH match. Bullshit. And you'd be like, well, it's just a cute what? No, you either hype up the next event. Like, did you think – I'm sorry. I actually enjoyed this episode of Ring of Honor. If it probably would have been a tie. It probably would have been a tie. But contract signing, nope. The same thing for TNA. Spoiler, you have a contract signing, I have a rule. Your show sucks. No more contract signings. And don't you fall for the trap. Don't you. The people, the internet infantry, don't fall for the trap of, ooh, my contract signing isn't as bad as their contract signing. Just say no to contract signings. There's meth ads all over Europe that say, not even once. I want a contract signing ad campaign. Not even once. Not even once. Fuck you in contract signings. Overall, not too bad of a show. Not their best show, I assure you. I don't know if people wanted to go into the building. What's the phrase? They talk you into the building. I don't know if they talked you into the building. I guess that's up to each individual person. I will probably watch the pay-per-view. I don't know if I don't know when I'll watch it because of real life situations, but I'll probably watch the pay-per-view more over tradition that this is their big event than actually, I'm excited to see where it goes. It's really built off one major match. At least that's the way it looked if you watch this 1 hour of television. Booms, what do you give it? You don't live by the same rules I live by, so maybe contract signings don't make it an automatic loss, and that's why you're wrong. But Booms, what do you think? Loss or tie?
That's exactly why I'm right. Never forget that. I'm going to give it a weak win. It limped over the tie threshold into weak win territory, but just barely. I did enjoy the show overall. There were some elements that I didn't like. There were some things I did like. There were some things that surprised me. There were some things that bored me. But I think it did just enough to get into the win territory. So let's break it down. I'll tell you how I came to that conclusion. The first match we saw was scheduled to be the Decade versus War Machine. Of course, the Decade with B.J. Whitmer and Adam Page taking on War Machine, or the tag team of Rowan Hansen. This going back to last week, B.J. Whitmer backed out of the match and put Colby Carino, that's the son of King Carino, the Ring of Honor color commentator, their young boy in the match, and paired him up with Adam Page against War Machine. He went in there. Both Rowan Hansen did not want to fight Colby Carino because he's a beanpole. He's 18 years old. And by the way, at 18, he's already made a ton of bad decisions by looking at all the gauges in his ear and all the fucking tattoos he's got. But that's a different story for a different day. Obviously, War Machine really not wanting to fight him. They were screaming for B.J. Whitmer to get in there. They did just enough to kind of smack around Colby. When he went to tag in Adam Page bailed on him. So it became like a squash match. So I like this. This was a step up from last week against the squash match when Colby got destroyed by Moose. I like this because War Machine actually seemed more reluctant to fight Carino than Moose did. And I personally think they went a little overboard with it, but I think they did just enough to get the win, and they were trying to keep the heat on with B.J. Whitmer being a coward, basically having a kid fight his battles for him, and then Paige bailing on him. So I like that opener. Dave, what were your thoughts on the opener? Particularly, how do you feel about this whole thing about Colby Carino being treated as not just the young boy, but the whipping boy, and then obviously Steve Carino getting a little, more than just a little, being very just upset with Whitmer, even getting to the point where Kevin Kelly had to hold him back.
First off, I'm old as shit. Colby's 18 years old. That's crazy. I've been watching Steve Carino since 1902. The fuck, man. How the hell is Colby 18? With that said, not a bad storyline. Builds up a great feud. But why? And you're like, well, it's a good storyline, good match, but why? This is like starting a brand new storyline right before your biggest pay-per-view of the year. Why? If Carino takes on Whitmer, the storyline was rushed for no fucking reason. All right, so why not just postpone this storyline till after Friday? Like, this could have been time for the undercard. If you watch this show, if you only watch this show, you have no idea what the fuck the undercard is. But you know that Steve Carino loves Colby and fucking why? Like, I'm not saying it's bad, just why? You guys know you have to sell a pay-per-view, right? I mean, is Carino fighting Whitmore? Wow, that's the fastest fucking feud ever. You know what I mean? To me, I just think it's not a bad storyline. You can get behind it. You understand Steve Carino's position. You feel passion for Steve Carino. Steve Carino begging the referee. Steve Carino did a great job. Whitmore does a great job. War Machine does a great job. Everyone does a great job. Why? Why? It's just like, wow, we're starting a brand new storyline weeks, days before our pay-per-view? I don't understand it. And that's the thing. Ring of Honor, we love you, but really, if you just watch Ring of Honor pay-per-views, you're better for it. Because the television show doesn't line up. Unless I'm wrong, but even if Whitmore takes on Carino at this pay-per-view, really worthless. Why? It's sped up, and on that, but the pay-per-view, best in the world, I just think it should have been more advertising the card, more going up. I enjoyed it, but the whole time I'm like, why? It's either it's gone too fast or it started at the weirdest effing time ever. But no, I do enjoy the storyline. I want to see where it goes. Plus, it gets Steve Carino back in the ring, and also it could build Steve Carino as a face. And man, Steve Carino hasn't been a face in I don't know. I don't know when Steve Carino has been a face. So overall, I think it's pretty entertaining, pretty decent, but why? Just why? So there you go. Steve Carino does threaten BJ Whitmore after the match. So are they going straight to the pay-per-view? Who knows? What the fuck's the undercard? Go to ROH. Dude, let's go to the next segment.
Next year was a singles match. We had Cedric Alexander versus Moose. This is a match that actually shocked me because Cedric Alexander, trying to get his footing back in 2015, has not really fared well this year. Moose, of course, just re-signed with Ring of Honor, former NFL player, just a big guy that they're hyping up. These two got into it pretty early, started trading blows back and forth. I will say this: Moose delivered a just devastating looking lariat. But the interesting thing that happened here was during the match, after hitting Cedric Alexander with the spear, Vita Scott apparently got worried about this match and told Stokely Hathaway to distract the referee. By the way, those are both the managers of Moose. And Stokely Hathaway distracted the referee. Vita Scott reached into the ring and pulled a wrench out. It was telling Moose to clock Cedric Alexander with it. Moose wanted nothing to do with that. Cedric Alexander saw the wrench, snatched it out of Moose's hand, smacked him in the skull with it, pinned him. and got the win. And this ends Moose's undefeated streak. So I thought, I was like, wow, this is a little shocking here that they're taking a guy that they're hyping up with Moose, a guy that they built around, the guy they've been hyping up with the undefeated streak. In fact, he's going to be on the undercard at Best in the World, where he's going to be in a three-way match against Roderick Strong and Michael Elgin, where the winner will become the new number one contender for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. And he loses going this, and obviously a huge win for Cedric Alexander. Vita Scott beside herself after the loss. But Dave, what did you think? I mean, do you think good move, bad move, having Moose having his undefeated streak snapped just days before the pay-per-view?
I don't know, but it worked. I thought this was one of the best segments of the night. The whole time, I don't read spoilers. The whole time I was worked, I was like, oh, man, that sucks for Alexander. Like, the whole time. As soon as he called out the Moose, I was like, oh, fuck it. And the fact that it snapped the undefeated streak on free television, it was definitely a shock, but I don't know if it helped sell pay-per-views, and that's the thing. But looking past that, let's take off our business cap. I thought it was done. I was like, oh, that sucks. I guess he's got personal shit to take care of. I guess he's off television. And the fact that he upset Moose, and granted, it was done in a, I cheated type way, kind of way, you know what I mean? It's not as bad as WCW Goldberg breaking his streak, but there was some shenanigans involved. And not only that, but if he's going for the title, he's lost before, so you got that out of the way. I don't know. To me, I enjoyed this match a lot, and as they say, they worked you. Yeah, in a good way. If you came to me and said, I saw the thing, and he cut the promo, and he's like, I'm going to prove that I can win. You know, I thought the promo was really good. Then calling out the Moose, I thought was very interesting. If you, at that moment, when you're Moose, 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 if you said, hey, I read spoilers, and I'll still bet you $100 Moose loses, I'd be like, bitch, you're just trying to fuck with me. There's no way Moose loses. Like, even if you came clear that you read spoilers, I'd be like, no, Moose ain't going to fucking lose. You're out of your mind. Moose is going to lose. So I enjoy Moose. I enjoy the spear. I enjoy everything about him. They really hide his weaknesses if he has any. And I just think, they're teasing him turning face. Just turn face. Those two, the 97 members of his entourage really seem like a waste of time.
I'm not a fan of either Stokely Hathaway or I'm especially not a fan of Vita Scott. I mean, nothing against her personally.
In a dirty way. Like I broke. She used to sell merchandise. She used to sell merchandise back in the day, but yeah.
Well, Dave, I don't dislike Vita Scott personally. I just think the way her character comes off. I mean, she looks like some high school girl who walked into a high school drama club's closet and said, "Okay, I'm going to be a professional wrestling manager. I'm going to be like kind of a bitchy businesswoman," and that's the costume she came out with. I mean, just to me, it looks like she is a person playing a role. It does not look natural in any shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just want to see what Moose can do, and people love him. So why have him with 87 heel managers? It just makes him look stupid. But the streak is over, so we'll see where it goes. Obviously, I still want Roderick Strong to fucking win because I'm Team Strong fucking all the way. But I wouldn't mind Moose winning. And Elgin's not bad. It's just we've seen it. That's what we've seen Roderick Strong. I don't know. I love all three, but Roderick Strong is always number one in my heart. All right. Yep, so I thought this was a shock of the night, surprise of the night. And, yeah, maybe it hurts pay-per-view buys, but 90% of the people don't know there's a fucking pay-per-view this week. They just did a horrible job of promoting it. And the contract signing is not it. All right, go ahead.
Next, we had our tag team main event. It was Matt Sydal teaming up with ECH to take on New Japan's Hiroshiro Tanahashi and Naito. Dave, to be honest, I like this match. I think it was kind of strange that neither of the New Japan stars were willing to shake hands with either Sydal or ACH before the match. This kind of little bit of a little bit of tension going in there. They rang the bell, then they just started going. I like the German suplexes. I think it was Matt Seidel was trying to do a backwards, just a somersault onto his opponent, but Tanahashi was waiting for him and German suplexed him. This went all over the ring. I think it was a very entertaining match, but despite their best efforts, it wasn't a good night for Team Ring of Honor. Hiroshi Tanahashi hit the high fly flow and got the win. So I think that was, to me, I think that was the best match that Ring of Honor's aired since they debuted on Destination America. I would like to see more stuff like that. I would especially hope this working relationship with New Japan continues, especially when you can get people like Naito and Tanahashi in the main event. That's not taking anything away from ACH or Matt Seidel. I think they're wonderful talents, and I think they paired up well with them. I think if you're a fan of high-flying wrestling, you would really love this match. Just a lot of crazy spots in this, and I think it was worthy of the main event.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it should be above a contract signing, but we'll get to that complaining ever. I love all four of these athletes. And they just put on a great show, and hopefully the world is finding out about New Japan. And hopefully ACH will get a shot in New Japan. I'd love to see Roderick Strong and ACH head over to New Japan. We always get fucking Red Dragon. Not that that's bad, but, some ACH Roderick Strong would be nice. But yeah, I thought this was match of the night. I'm glad New Japan won just because I'm a huge New Japan fanboy. But besides that, I really enjoyed it. There's no complaints about this. I would even go as far as must watch. And if it wasn't for the Lucha Underground shit, Lucha Underground 1 hour Iron Man match, I'd probably say it was match of the night. Granted, I haven't watched TNA yet, so that's not fair to TNA. But it was a really good match. Solid tag team action. And it told a story because it was just ROH guys versus New Japan guys. And, I'm happy with everything. There's not much I can complain about. I just want ACH to come to New Japan. That's it. Just come on over, ACH. I love ACH. ACH is probably my indie crush, new indie crush. Because usually everyone that I have an indie crush on gets signed by NXT. There'll always be Roderick that I love, but ACH is absolutely amazing.
All right, then we go to the closing scene from the show. It was the main event contract signing. Of course, it's title for title. Jay Briscoe putting his Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship on the line against Jay Lethal's Ring of Honor Television Championship. It's going to be winner take all. Now, Dave, I know you don't like to end things on contract signs, but with that being said, let me tell you what I did like about this. I did like the fact that they just went in there and signed the contract. I know that sounds silly, but they didn't talk beforehand. They didn't shove each other. They just went in there. They signed. I think it was Jay Briscoe signed first. Jay Lethal signed this. Nigel McGuinness kind of set him up. Said, "Okay, you got any final words from for each other before we go into Best in the World?" And I think Jay Lethal played his role perfectly. He said, he was saying, kind of what we were all thinking. He said, the only reason I don't flip this table over and drop you where you stand is because I want you at 100% at Best in the World because I want no excuses from you when I beat you. And then Briscoe came back and said, you know what, when I get done beating you, you're going to have to go back to being Black Machismo. This set off Jay Lethal. He flipped over the table. He got in his face, held up his television championship, said, I made this title. That title made you. And I just think that line right there was just perfect. I think Jay Lethal is just amazing on the microphone, and just that right there, just that him up in his face, that really sold that main event for me. That one line right there, holding up the television championship, I made this title, and then pointing over to Jay Briscoe, that title made you. I love that one. I just think that was the best part of that.
Yeah, I think this might have been get rid of the contract signing, get rid of the mom joke and the Black Machismo joke, and this is a great promo. Like the Black Machismo thing, like, oh, that makes me angry. Why? Why does it make you angry? That's what the fuck you. You know, and the mom thing was just like, all right, whatever. But yeah, it had its moments. But the line of the night was definitely Jay Lethal saying, "I made this title. That title made you." I thought that was line of the night. But overall, you know, they could have cut a lot of this shit out, especially the contract signing, and did a better hype video and all that. But it is what it is. But I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, first off, Mick Guinness calling it the match, biggest match in ROH history. Really?
I mean, come on. Well, Dave, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, this is like the whole thing, the premise is set up for WrestleMania 6, title versus title. It's Hogan versus.
Yeah, it's already been done Ring of Honor, and it's been done better. And he was in the match. So, like, no. I just, you know what? I actually, when he's like, this is the biggest match in ROH history, I actually think that's a huge error. Not only for my opinion and fact, but Ring of Honor fanboys are going to go back and be like, no, what about this? What about this? What about your match? What about this? I actually think, you know, it became a case of overhyping. Like, oh, it's the biggest match in Ring of Honor history. Like, really? Really? It's not even the biggest match that you're a part of. You know what I mean? It's not even the biggest match that these athletes are a part of. I just thought it was a bit of overhype, but the promo was pretty good. Who's gonna win was really good. So overall, it was good. I just wish it was shorter. No contract signing. It was ridiculous. At least they got the contract signing out of the way. But why even have that? Like, it's just. I honestly believe it doesn't matter what company. Contract signings are the dumbest fucking thing ever in pro wrestling. If you want to do that on a YouTube clip show, go for it. But nope, I promise you this to TNA ROH WWE fans. The next contract I sign, I'm putting it up on YouTube. You sons of guns obviously love contract signings. Booms, you do the same thing. Whatever the contract is, new credit card, whatever. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to get my next new contract. That's going to be straight up on YouTube. That's going to be Pro Wrestling Gold. Yeah, so overall, I give it a loss with the penalty of contract signings. No. Yeah, you have one hell of a match, huge upset, and that's how you end it, and that's how you talk people into the building. Just a promo would do, sir. Just a promo will do. All right. Andy Paps on Facebook says one of the main reasons why I never understood ROH, the shows don't add up to the pay-per-view build-ups. And that's because the shows, I don't know, that ROH has to work with the timing.
Dude, they were taped. Dude, those shows were taped from like last month. Like, yeah. I'm dead serious.
They are getting better. They are getting better because there was a time where you would watch an ROH pay-per-view and then the 2 weeks after on television to be like, this Friday, and you're like, no, the pay-per-view already happened. So they are getting better, but they really have to perfect that. It's got to the point where it's now embarrassing. Like, why are you showing the Kobe Carino stuff now? Why? Is there a fucking match? There better not be a goddamn match with him on it. But we'll see. Boom, boom, boom. Let me refresh. We're 5-0. Not too bad. Not too bad. The one guy who always thumbs down and hasn't found this yet. Matthew Bryan says contract signings had nothing and always look bad. Thank you. Contract signings, not even once. Weak win or tie. Lennox Wooderson, win. How can you give Tanahashi and Naito versus ACH and Citadel a loss? Contract signings. And not only that, but they should. I think I'm gonna call up Tanahashi right now. Bring Tanahashi. Yeah, I gave your fucking show a loss. Oh, why? That's not how Tanahashi talks, but let's go with it. Why, Dave? Because after your match, they had a contract signing. I wasn't the main event? All right, talk to you later, Tanahashi. Tanahashi agrees. It's Tanahashi accepted. Fucking, yeah, no. How can you give it a loss? Because there's a contract signing. And not only that, but a contract signing that followed that great of a match. No. You have to be penalized. You obviously, the world does not see eye to eye with me. But you know what? Like Captain America says, even if you stand alone, you need to stand up for what you believe in. And Captain America, I believe there should not be contract signings in pro wrestling on television. If I stand alone, I stand alone. But they have to be punished. LB Clash of Kings, Vita Scott looks like a high school nerdy librarian turned wrestler, and it's kind of different as I haven't seen a female character like that in wrestling. WCW, they did that with
Miss Hancock.
Legs. Who's leg? Oh yeah, Missy Hyatt too. That was cool.
Yeah, Missy Hyatt, but I think you're thinking about Miss Hancock. That was played by Stacy Keibler.
Yeah. But yeah, Vita Scott used to sell programs, and we had this conversation. I'm like, oh, she's hot. She's crazy hot, but since she looks a little nerdy, all these fucking fans think they have a shot with her, and then she would sell a shitload of programs. Moose, that guy is the future main eventer and world champion, but don't bring him to WWE because they won't push a black wrestler as top guy who wins the world heavyweight champion, whose name isn't The Rock. Yeah, I want to see what Moose can do. Vita started as a lawyer in ROH, but she's a wrestler on the Indies. All right. Would it be good if Cedric took Moose's manager? Yeah, I could see that, I guess, because they have to add something to him. Yeah, I could see that. Like a little.
Yeah, what I think is going to happen is Moose is going to make an all-out face turn by turning on, like firing Vita Scott and Stokely Hathaway and be out on his own, and I can see those two trying to pick up like a new client. So yeah, I can see something like that happening.
LB Clash of the King says, wait, that was Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne, on this week's ROH? LOL, I didn't even notice that was even him because he looks so different since leaving the E. Yeah, that, and he was also surrounded by 3 of the greatest athletes of all time. You know what I mean? Okay, that was a little oversell. That was a night of Ring of Honor oversell. But yeah, who would face Lethal first after he wins all the belts, Moose or ACH? Well, who should? Who should?
Because who should?
The number one contenders are going to be decided at the pay-per-view. But who should? I would probably go Moose. Moose, because those are our options. Moose is at least in the running. ACH is, I'm awesome, but I'm not really in the running for the title as far as storylines goes. I mean, you could have a nice match between Lethal and ACH. You know, Lennox Wooderson is already knocking out Briscoe. By the way, he's answering the question like Briscoe has no chance. Jay Lethal. I like Briscoe. I know a lot of people love and hate the Briscoes. I love the Briscoes, but I think they're like the world's greatest tag team, or one of the world's greatest tag team. And I do believe the Briscoes deserve the title. I really do. I think like, oh no, he deserves it. But now it's kind of like, all right, you're a great tag team wrestler. You deserve the title, but this is a bit much. And where Lethal is just hitting on all cylinders. And not only that, but the live audience absolutely loved him. And he's playing the heel. So maybe they're doing a KocoSports stream. But the less we do KocoSports stream, by the way, if you don't know what that is, this is very inside nerdy stuff. The less we do KocoSports stream, the more it comes true in real life. But there you go. So yeah. All right. Booms. I'm going to go through comments one more time, and then we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Wing King Quack, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, is going to watch our video on Google Plus, or is watching, and they come back often, so hopefully they keep coming back. Let's see. This is Andy Paps. Us Americans don't like contract signing, Dave. It's pro wrestling companies putting in fillers. All right, well, you know what? When I get a contract, you're all going to be punished. I do contract signings, not even once. Hey, we have 5 minutes left in the show. Contract signing, yeah, I don't understand. And I'll put like, all right, WWE does a lot of shitty stuff. TNA, you know, they don't know any better. You know, they have their moments, but they don't know any better. Ring of Honor, I don't think this is just so disappointing. So disappointing. I expected more from you. If they can go to a segment when they can't think of anything else, yeah. And all that, but why not just cut a promo? Why not have a press release? Why there has to be a contract signing? What if there's a contract signing and one refuses? Like, if I'm the champ, hear me out. Well, let's live in the kayfabe world. Booms, put on your kayfabe hat. Okay. I'm the champ. Me and you are going to battle at fucking the next big pay-per-view. There's a contract signing. I say, fuck it, I'm not signing. What happens? Do I lose my title? Does the match happen anyway? What happens if I just refuse to sign the title? I'm a very coward champion here. what if I refuse to sign the contract? Are you going to cancel the pay-per-view? It's such a fucking waste of time. And not only that, but it doesn't explain the Kane character or the owner character or the powerful guy saying, you two fight. Well, if you're a heel, you'd be like, oh, you want me to fight this guy? Well, I haven't signed a contract yet. It's just fucking bizarre world. Get rid of contract signings. It's fucking beyond stupid. It'd be awesome. What if the Briscoes like, you know what? I'm fucking going to cancel this. I'm going home. All right, we're not. It's such a waste of fucking time. Waste of time, I tell you. All right, thank you for those on Twitter, and I think that's it. I'm gonna hit refresh. Boom, boom, boom. We're 5-0, baby. 5-0. Not too bad. Not too bad. And this will be. Oh, well, we have a couple here. All right. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Booms. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 comments. You want to call last 4 comments tonight?
Yeah.
All right, last 4 comments tonight, and we're going. Anything after that, I apologize. LB Clash of Kings. I'm sorry, but most ROH guys can't cut a promo that good to save their lives. ROH may have one of the best in-ring products, but they can't play characters, cut promos that don't look awkward watching. Well, Truth Martini can cut a promo. I think the Briscoes cut good promos. I think Jay Lethal can definitely cut good promos. Yeah, the list is getting pretty goddamn short. I mean, they had CM Punk back in the day. I don't know. Who in ROH could cut good promos? There's someone. To ROH roster? Boom, 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 boom. You know anyone that could cut a good promo in ROH?
The Addiction.
Yeah, but they cut the same fucking promos. I'm gonna put Christopher Daniels at Chris Jericho status. It doesn't exist. All right, let's see. Well, they have Del Rio on the roster, but that doesn't count. I don't consider him that. Christopher Daniels went, oh, I get it. You're a heel. You're fucking too cool for school. I like the Briscoes. Some people don't, but I find them to be completely entertaining. Yeah, this is bad. You might have a good point there, sir. Nigel could back in his day. Samoa Joe, he has his moments, but he's so awesome, so we give him a pass. And, yeah, I think that's it. Truth Martini. So, yeah, you sir might have a good point. You, sir, might have a good point. Let's see. Guys, I like to see Jay Lethal win the world title because at the beginning of TNA career, I looked where it got him, and it very far. He worked very hard, so I like to see them win the belt. And not only that, but he's a great fucking human being, and he busted his ass.
He's a good guy.
Just absolutely crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure Jay Lethal, this ain't factual, but this is how it feels. I'm pretty sure Jay Lethal's wrestled for the last 27 years, and he's only 19. I don't know. Jay Lethal is crazy, so hopefully it does good. What's up with the eye thing Naito does? I don't know. That's his thing where he's a genius. I don't know where the connection is, but Naito is a genius.
To be honest, I think when it comes down to this stuff, I think they just take random English words and put them together to make things, because Stardust Genius, apparently that sounds cool to the Japanese. To us over here in the U.S., it doesn't make any sense, but okay, it's cool. We'll roll with it because he's awesome. Like with Prince Devitt, he was the...
Yes, and maybe he's got his eye on you. I don't know where it actually started, but he actually started off as a really great tag team wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And then now,
they did that with Prince Devitt in Japan because he was the real rock and roller, whatever that means.
According to Prince Devitt, I actually got that. Hold on, I got the quote somewhere. Oh, damn, I can't find
another one. The guy who was actually Devitt's tag team partner for a while, he was the Funky Weapon. I was like, some of this stuff makes no sense, but then again, if over here in the U.S., if we can get tattoos of Chinese words on us, we have no idea what they mean. I guess we let the Japanese get away with putting together random English words to make up their gimmick name.
All right, I have the quote of Prince Devitt because he's been asked what a real rock and roller is, and his quote is, "A real rock and roller is someone who does whatever they want when they want, and that's I fucking miss. Come on, if this is your most famous quote, you're even and that's I am.
That's who I am, or what
a real rock and roller. So that's it. That's why he's a real rock and roller. He just does whatever the fuck he wants. So there you go. And that's from Prince Devitt. So boom, there you go. But yeah, some of them, it's just crazy. Funky Weapon is just because he's a comedy guy and he hits you with his ass. And yeah, that's it. There's not many storylines. Matter of fact, they're starting to add more storylines. Fuck you, Machine Gun. Right now, if you go by New Japan World and watch Bullet Club and you watch the Machine Gun, you can watch the worst storyline in New Japan history. Go there, only $9.99 yen. Horrible fucking story. All right, yep, there you go. And Matthew Bryan says 2 great videos, Tony. All right, I think, and videos though. Yeah, I think that's the best way to go. Good job, Tony. I don't know. Is that like slang for something? That might be an iPhone attack there. All right. So good job, Tony. Boom, boom. Tell them how they should like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at KocoSports, and go to KocoSports.net, where the world comes to cash, your home for combat sports, above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Oh, never mind. I already told them. Boom. You got some good Southern gentleman advice to end today's videos, because this is your last video for today.
You know what? Give me a second. Stall for time. I need to think of something here. I was put on the spot. I was totally not expecting this.
Well, Booms, I thought you were a Southern gentleman. You should know it all the time. You know?
Okay. I do remember when. If people are talking behind your back, they just fart.
Not bad. Not bad. Booms. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. TNA review within 24 hours. We did NXT. We did SmackDown. When I say we, mostly Boom Boom. We did Lucha Underground. And I did a TNA thing where I broke down half the roster and no one watched it. So go check it out. And also, we try to do at least 1 video a day. Like, comment, subscribe. Boom Boom, thank you. Internet Infantry, thank you. And with that, I am over. Boom, 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 boom.